What is up, guys? Welcome back to another tier list video. It's been forever since I've done a Smite tier list. This is going to be for the 8.9 and even 9.0 patch. And may even very well be like the last tier list I actually do for the entire year. We got about 3 months left of the year until Season 9. They're not really going to be doing that much major balance changes at this point in the game, at least for the rest of Season 8 until the new season. So I think the rest of this tier list probably be good for the rest of the year. And then once Season 9 drops, I'll probably end up having to do another tier list, but we'll worry about that then. If you guys like me doing these tier lists, leave a like down below, subscribe, share the video, and you guys do not want to miss when I'm live as well. I stream Smite, I stream Paladins, I stream Apex Legends. I may even be live the time you're watching this video, who knows. If you guys do not want to miss when I'm live, subscribe so you do not miss that. And we're going to get right into this. Alright, getting right into this. This is going to be your average player tier list. Not for pro players, not for like your Grandmaster, Master, like what else? High tier diamond players. This is just going to be your average players, like either casuals or ranked tier list. Either one, I can apply for both. So, that being said, S plus is the stuff that you're going to want to pick, ban, or like play every single game that can just win you games. Broken tier stuff that needs to be nerfed into the ground. S tier is the stuff that you're not really going to be banning most of the time, but still really, really good. A plus above average. A is your just average stuff. B is below average. C is your very situational, and F tier is your throw picks. If you play them, you're probably going to end up losing, and you're wanting to lose. So, that being said, we're going to hop right into this. Achilles A plus tier. Just your average, I don't know, probably above average solo laner right now. You can play him in the jungle and get away with them, but with junglers being buffed this patch, there's just a lot better options for the jungle now. Maybe last patch it would have been better. Solo laning has decent pressure. Overall, just kind of your above average solo laner. Not really going to talk about him that much. Agni A tier, just your definition of average. Does a shit ton of damage, but I don't know what the problem is with him. That he needs some type of buffs to put him higher. I really don't know what you would really change with him. Like, just your average mage for, I don't know, the entirety of Season 8, even like half of Season 7. I don't know. Even with a lot of item changes, like every time items change, it really doesn't change him for some reason. I don't know why. AMC got buffed recently, still garbage. C tier, you have no mobility, you get dove by pretty much everything, you're really bad until late game, until you can do a shit ton of damage and kind of 1v1 at least damage-wise. Apart from that, you're garbage. Awpuck, throw pick, never pick him. If you pick Awpuck, you just throw your games. He does a shit ton of damage, but you just get dove by everything. And if you don't land your 2-2 or 1-2 combo, I think it is, you throw out your dead bodies and then you explode them. If you don't land that and do a shit ton of damage, then you have nothing else and you're forced to run away. So, Amateur Rostu, I think, is really good right now. Putting her at an S tier, one of the best solo lanes in the game, I think, right now. She's gotten some little buffs to where she got reverted when she got the shit nerfed out of her last season. Slowly reverting some of her buffs. I think she's a really solid solo right now. If you guys are looking for a really solid solo, I think Amateur Rostu is what you're looking at. Just great lane pressure. She has a bit of a bad early game until around about level 3 to level 5. Around there is when she starts picking up. But apart from that, once you start getting about 2-3 items, you're doing pretty damn good. Really good team fight ult. Just overall, she has a really solid self-sustain as well with her 1. Getting that tick heal every time you use it, so. On her, I'm going to put on her at an S tier. One of the best hunters in the game right now. No questions asked. Shit tons of damage. Insane ult that does shit ton of damage. Really safe, really hard to lock them down, especially if you know what you're doing, because you're always going to get that stun. If you play wrong and you position wrong, you're going to get stunned out and hit into a wall or a pillar or something else. So, and if you do that, you're pretty much automatically dead, especially late game. Insane right now, one of the best hunters in the game. Anubis kind of fallen off. He was way better in Season 7. He was really good a couple patches ago, then they nerfed Blood-Soaked Shroud, and I know he's kind of A tier. I think he can still be really good. It just depends on what team you're going against. If you're going against a bunch of bums that don't build anti-heal, then you just steamroll and you carry games. If you're going against like 2 or 3 people that are building anti-heal, then you kind of have to pick your spots a lot more. It's a lot more difficult for you to do your job. Don't get me wrong, you still do a shit ton of damage, but overall, I think right now he's A+ tier. You can carry games with him, but it just depends on what you're going against. If you're going to be going against a team of bums, or you're going against a team that actually knows how to play the game and knows what they're doing, and they actually build anti-heal. I don't know. And then you have to land your 2. If you can't land your 2, you're worthless. So it comes down to if you can land your 2, and then if you have people building anti-heal against you. So if you can land your 2 and you have nobody building anti-heal, you can carry games. He carries games, so. Ao Kuang A+ tier. One of the, probably the best, I'd say, like, mage type jungler right now. I really do. I think that he's A+ tier for a reason. Really solid. If you know how to play Ao Kuang, you can carry games. Really solid right now. It's overall really good, especially with a lot of the jungle buffs. Eye of the Jungle. You can run Boomba's Dagger, Boomba's Spear, whatever. Just really, really solid. Aphrodite A+ tier. She just keeps getting nerfed. I think she's still solid, but I just don't think she's worth putting her higher. Apollo gotten the shit nerfed out of him recently. He's really fallen off. I think he's A tier. It's your average hunter right now. Arachne S tier. Insane. Arachne is insane again. She's always been really good. There's just a few things, like if some of her items kind of get nerfed, then she kind of drops a little bit. She's still really good. Still insanely good. If you can steamroll your early game and get like a 2 or 3 level lead, you just carry the game. Her only problem is late game. If you don't play flawlessly late game, especially with how much damage hunters and mages are doing right now, because the TTK for the game is just completely thrown off ever since they removed boots, which I think is something they need to look at for Season 9 and for this next season, is look at the TTK and just going through all the mages and all the hunters and just like slightly nerfing their damage to bring them more in line with where they were before boots got removed. So I don't know. If you screw up late game, you get deleted pretty much by either a hunter or by a mage. So you got to play flawlessly late game. But if you can steamroll early to mid game, then you can just carry all the way to late game. By that point, you probably already win anyways. So Ares A tier has no mobility. You get shut down if you're out of position. That's the only real problem with him. Apart from that, he's pretty damn good. But I'm not going to put him higher than an A tier. Artemis is insane. She got a lot of her items nerfed this patch, but she's still really good. One of the best hunters in the game. Gets around about level 10, actually even like level 5, you can just run at people in your lane. Throw out an ult, you pretty much 1v1 and win 1v1s based off your ult. Run Blink, you full commit, just YOLO go in, YOLO and just go for kills. Trade 2, 3 kills for, and then end up dying. You can trade for like a half a team, that's fine. Usually kind of what she does. Shit tons of damage, really difficult to dive her every time she has her ult up. If she does not have her ult, then you can maybe dive her, but you have to look out for her traps and then for her ult. So it's really difficult to play into with how much damage she does, especially late game. Artie, I think Artie was A+ tier. I think she's slowly on the rise. She got some recent buffs. I think she's really solid. Can be really good in solo, and she can be really good in support. A lot of pressure. She's just really annoying to play against. A tier right now. Athena going right up to S tier, insanely annoying. Needs to be nerfed again because I'm sick of playing against Athena. She's just so goddamn annoying to play against. She really is. Awilix going to S plus tier, our first S plus tier. They buffed every single item, a bunch of the items that Awilix usually builds, because you usually build her at least the majority of the time ability based. A lot of the jungle items that she builds, either starter items or some of the items she built, got buffed. She's crazy. And she recently got buffed as well. I think a patch or 2 ago, they actually reduced the cooldown and they slightly increased her damage scaling. I think on her 2, and I think it was on her 3. So, I don't know. She's crazy right now. If you can get a 1 or 2 level lead, you just carry the game. She is fucking crazy. If you guys know how to play a Wheelix right now, you can carry games. Probably one of the best junglers in the game. Definitely going to be getting nerfed probably this next patch for 9.0 or 9.1 or slash 9.2 before the season 8 is or season 9 is here. No questions asked. What else we got? Baba Yaga, really good right now. Actually, she's actually really good. I won't say she's ban worthy, but I think she's really good. Shit tons of damage. She just puts out so much damage. She keeps getting buffed and buffed and buffed. Quality of life change after quality of life change. It's at the point now where I think she's way over buffed. I really do. I think if they buff her one more time or if they change like one more thing about her, she's going to end up going into broken tier. Right now, I think she's on like borderline broken. I really do. Just because you can just stack items really early. You have pretty much all the other mages in the game take way longer to stack, like Book of Thoth, what is it, Ward, what is it, Rod of Tuhati, I think it is, or not Rod of Tuhati, whatever the other one is, the other stacking item, the purple rod or whatever that is. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head right now. I know what it is. I'm just having a brain fart right now, but like all the stacking items, you stack them way faster than all the other mages. By the time you have them stacked, like it's still really early in the game. You're doing a shit ton more damage. You have a huge power spike. Bacchus A tier got slightly buffed, still kind of is where he is right now. Just gets shut down late game because you have to go in and you have to dive stuff to actually throw your abilities on. And hunters and mages are just doing so much goddamn damage right now to where you have to dive somebody, and if you don't kill anything, you have no escape, and you usually use your leap to go in and actually engage on an opponent. And if you have nothing to get out, you just get melted by a hunter or a mage. And right now, it's just crazy how much damage they do. Bakasura, A tier, just your average jungler right now. He was really good like 1 or 2 patches ago. He's just kind of there right now. Kind of fallen off a bit because they did nerf some of the auto attack items. Baron A tier. You never really see him. Don't play him in support. Don't play him in solo. The only time you're going to play him is in mid, and there's just way better options right now. Just average. You can play him to an extent, but he's kind of just there. Bastet is F tier. Until she gets reworked, she's a throw pick. Every time somebody picks Bastet in my games, it's an automatic loss because we just have no jungler. So if you want to throw your games, get reported, and probably get banned, then pick Bastet in your ranked games and all your games. What else we got? Bellona. I think Bellona is really solid right now. I really do. I'm going to put her at an A+. She got a new skin this patch, which is absolutely crazy. I love her new skin. Really love her new skin. Apart from that, I think she's an A+ right now. She got some slight buffs this patch too, which made her a little bit better. A lot of people thought she was going to be way better than she actually is. Just overall kind of A+. Cabrakan, I'm going to put it at S tier. Probably if you want a Guardian jungle, I think right now the best Guardian jungle in the game right now, if you want a jungler that's a Guardian, is either Ymir or Cabrakan. I'd say Cabrakan's probably the best one in the game, especially as a jungle. As a support, he's really bad, but if you want to play Cabrakan jungle or like Cabrakan solo lane, I think that's where he excels right now. S tier for those reasons. Just so much damage. You walk up to somebody, if you can walk up to a mage or like a hunter and you can jump them or get a really early gank off or an insane gank to where you're not seen and they have no wards down and they don't want to ward and they don't know that you're going to be diving them, you pretty much two-shot them. With your 1 and then with your 2, you pretty much two-shot them late game. Camazotz, C tier, really bad. No reason to really play him at all. There's just no reason to play him. I'm even being generous. I don't think he's a throw pick, but I'm putting him at C tier because I think he's really bad. Cerberus, A tier, or S tier actually, one of the best Guardian in the game, especially as solo lane. You can play him as support or even solo lane. Really solid right now. Just what you really want out of a Guardian. Cern, C tier, needs major buffs. He's awful. Cern's awful. We've never really even seen Cern ever be really good, at least for as long as I've been playing the game, for like at least 3-4 seasons now. I've never really seen Cern be that good. He's awful. Shitty escape. Like, he just doesn't offer anything as a hunter. He really doesn't. There's no reason to pick him at all. Chalk. And I'm going to put Chalk in an A+ tier, and just because he falls off really harshly late game. He has a really good early to mid game, but once you get to late game, you're just an alt bot. He's still really good, though. If you can get a couple level leads, then you can kind of carry the game to an extent until you start getting to late game. But if you can get a couple late level leads, and then by that point in the game anyways, you're probably close to winning. So I'm not going to say he's worse than an A+. I think he still has a lot of potential, especially if you're just talking about average players, just your average games. Chang'e, B tier, needs some buffs. I really don't know what the problem is with her. She does a shit ton of damage, but she's just too risky as a mage to get her damage off. I think that's the sole problem with her, I think. Chernobog, S tier, really good right now. Really, really good. Chiron got nerfed. I still think he's S tier. Needs to be nerfed again. I really do. I really think Chiron needs to be nerfed. Chronos is fucking trash. Putting him at C tier. Probably the worst ADC mage in the game. He's really bad. Needs some major buffs or some reworks or something. I don't know. I really don't. Cthulhu's going up to S tier. Really solid still, especially as a solo lane. Mainly as a solo. Support, he's kind of iffy, but as a solo laner, I think he's really good. Right now, he's pretty damn solid. Kukulin going right up to an A+ tier. Got the shit nerfed out of him. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, but he still can be pretty damn good. Cupid A tier, just your average hunter. He was really good a long time ago, like at the beginning of Season 8. They nerfed the shit out of him, and a lot of the items that he likes to build kind of gotten changed, so kind of just there. Dodgy, I think, is really good right now. He's going right up to S tier. Probably one of the better junglers in the game, especially if you're on like a Bluestone build. Bluestone, Dodgy, or like a lot of the starters that she likes to build. Boomba's Dagger, she can run Boomba's Spear, Boomba's Hammer. Just a lot of good items she can run right now. Mannequins, you can even run mannequins on her. She's really good. She like you just get to like late game, you just dive a mage or dive a hunter. If they have no mobility and they can't get away from you, you just pretty much delete them with your 3 and like with your 1. Danza A+, kind of fallen off a little bit. I still think his ult should not be silent. I think his ult needs to have like a huge noise indicator. I think that's still broken about him, but apart from that, he's kind of fallen off. I think not really because he's really changed that much, but just because he's been in the game for quite a while now, and people are just kind of getting used to actually playing against him. Discordia, I think, is insanely good, but nobody plays her, putting her in an A+ tier. I don't know why nobody plays Discordia. She got an insanely cool skin and probably one of the best Battle Pass skins of the entire year for this current Battle Pass. Just don't know why nobody plays her. If you do see her, it's probably because she has a new skin, not because people are really wanting to play her, just because they're wanting to play the new skin, which is a real shame. I think she actually is really good, but was this Erlang Shen, A tier, just kind of your typical warrior jungle right now. They really nerfed the shit out of a lot of the auto attack warrior jungles. They really did. He's kind of fallen off. Fafnir, A+ tier. Just in your average games, like if this was like a higher tier list for like your pro players and stuff like that, I'd probably put them in like an S+ or even S tier. But if you're just an average game, they don't really know what they're doing most of the time, at least the majority of the Fafnirs I have. Like, they'll never use their ult on time. They'll always be late to a team fight. They'll always be out of position trying to 2v5 or like 1v5 an entire team. He can be good, but I'm just going to put an A+ tier. Fenrir S tier, really good right now, especially with a lot of jungle items being buffed this patch, really solid. Freya is shit tier. One of the worst characters in the game. I don't know. I don't care what anybody says. She went from being probably one of the best characters, I don't know, maybe at like the end of, was it Season 7, being really insanely good. And then she just got, once they reworked all the starter items, she's just never been good. She's bad. She's really bad. If you play Freya in your games, you're kind of just throwing. She has a really good late game, but by the time you get there, you just end up getting rolled. She takes way too long to get online. And by the time you do, it's usually not till like the 20-minute mark or like till you hit like level 15. And by that point, you usually end up losing the game. Ganesh, I have B, C tier. C tier. I don't really know what he does. He's pretty much just an alt bot. That's kind of what Ganesh is. Just an alt bot. Geb. Geb's going up to S tier. Got some insane buffs this patch. They reworked his ultimate to actually do, instead of actually a stun and like base damage, they reworked it to do actually percentage health damage. So I've been seeing played a lot. He's really good right now. Probably one of the better Guardians in the game ever since he got buffed this patch. Guan Yu falling off A tier. I'm actually going to move him down to B tier. I don't think he's even A tier worthy. I think he's B tier worthy. He's really fallen off. Hachiman, B tier. There's nothing special about him at all. Hades, A plus tier. If you're talking about your average ranked and average games, he is A plus tier. And if this is a pro tier list, I'd probably put him in like an F tier, but he is good in your average games because people really don't know how to play against him all too well. Hebo, A plus, just your typical mage. I think he's probably the best in the jungle right now. I think the other option right now that you want to choose over him is probably Ao Kuang, but they're both kind of the same level. Heimdallr, A plus. Nothing really special about him, especially when you're talking about average. If it was pro play, like I said, if it was a pro play, I'd probably put him in S plus tier, but just your average games. People don't know how to set up his portals properly. People don't know when to ult. People don't know how to properly position with him. He just gets dove and killed really easy. Hell got buffed this patch, still A tier. Hera going right up to S tier. Kind of just an alt bot, but Argus just does too much damage. She just still just does too much damage. I don't think she actually even got nerfed this patch. Slightly got nerfed. She still just does too much damage. Argus is just a fucking alt bot. It's if you drop it on somebody, you instantly delete like half their health bar, and it's pretty much impossible to play into unless you're like an ADC. If you drop it onto a mage or like a jungler, half their health is gone, and it's impossible to play into unless they have some type of escape, or if they have some insane damage ability or have to pop a relic or something. I don't know. Hercules, C tier. Just really bad in support, really bad in solo right now. Just gets his shit pushed in. Horus is average, I'd say. He got buffed recently. I think he's just average. If you want to play him, I think he's better in support. If anything, I don't think he's a good solo at all. But I think in support, he does have some potential. Ho Yi, average. Nothing really special about him. Hun Bats, they buffed his ult down. I think was it back to 90 seconds now instead of 110. I feel like he's just average still. Like there's just no reason to play him over a lot of the other junglers. There really isn't. Isis, shit tier. Even got buffed this patch slightly again, and she's still fucking dog shit tier. You pick Isis, you're throwing your games, and I'll be reporting you. Izamani, A tier, just average right now. Janus, if it was a pro player tier list, I put him at an S+, but if you're talking about average players, A tier. Jingwei, A tier, just your typical safe ADC right now. I do think Jingwei needs to be buffed. She has not gotten anything done to her. I think the last thing they'd actually done to her was like at the end of Season 7. They slightly reduced the distance on her 3, so you can't travel as far with it at base. Like, apart from that, they have not touched Jingwei in so long, at least balance-wise. Give her some buffs or something. I really love her. She's probably my favorite ADC in the game still, and probably my favorite hunter in the entire game. But I don't know, I can't just put her higher. What else we got? Jormungandr. Got buffed this patch, still shit tier. C tier, really bad. Even though he got buffed, I think he's really bad. If you just see him, at least when I see one on the enemy team, I think it's a free win. Kali. Going up to S tier. Really good right now. Insane jungler right now. Probably one of the best jungles in the game. Not as good as a Wheelix, in my opinion. I think a Wheelix is still better than her, but she's definitely an S tier. Something you're going to be looking at the majority of your games. Really solid right now. Kefri, A tier. Nothing special about him. King Arthur got the shit nerfed out of him. Going to go right to A+. I think he still can be good. He's not really dead, I wouldn't say he's like dead. But he's definitely not as good as he was a couple patches ago before they nerfed the shit out of him. Kukulkan, A+ tier. Just does a shit ton of damage. If you can land your ults, you pretty much do like 1,500, 1,600 damage with your ults alone. Kumbhakarna needs to be entirely reworked. Shit tier, garbage, does no damage, and you have a shit ton of CC, but you just can't do anything. If you have a shitty team, you do nothing and you lose anyways. Kuzenbo, B tier. Even got buffed this patch, I think slightly, still bad. Loki. I think I'm actually gonna move Loki up to S plus tier. He's fucking crazy. Loki is fucking crazy this patch. Needs to be nerfed. I don't know why they buffed him a couple patches ago on his... They gave him more damage scaling. He does fucking crazy damage. You can even build like 1 or 2 hybrid items and you still just pretty much delete anything that's a swishy or even like tanks. I think the only thing you really can't play good into is like really bulky tanks, like some certain supports or some certain solo lanes. But apart from that, if you're a squishy, you pretty much die to Loki every time with an ult. So teleport into the back line and you just destroy somebody with an ult and do like 75% of their health. It's fucking crazy. What else we got? Medusa was really good when Bluestone was really good. Bluestone got nerfed. She's kind of fallen off. Mercury, A plus tier. Merlin, kind of fallen off, A plus tier. He was really good. I'd say like the beginning of Season 8, he was pretty damn good. He's just kind of fallen off. I never see anybody play Merlin for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he's good in the higher tiers of ranked and like your higher tier play, but I just don't see him being played anymore. Mulan, I think Mulan has a shit ton of potential. I think she's actually probably the best warrior jungle in the game right now. I really do. I think Mulan's probably the best warrior jungle in the game because a lot of the items she builds as a warrior jungle, which is ability based, got buffed this patch. I think she's really solid. S tier just based off of her being a jungler, not a solo lane. If it was solo lane only, I'd probably put her like an A plus. Still needs some buffs. She still feels a little clunky to play, but as a jungler, she does her job perfectly. If you want a warrior jungle, I think Mulan's probably the best one in the game right now. Neath, the definition of A tier, just your average hunter. If you can play her really well and you can land your roots and you know what you're doing, at least like ability-wise, she does do a shit ton of damage. You can do pretty good, but just your definition of average. Nemesis, putting her in S tier, really good right now. Really good jungler right now. She's always been really good, has not really changed. Naja, C tier, really fallen off. I think he actually got some slight buffs this patch too. Still really bad. Nike, A plus tier. She's an okay jungler. She's an okay solo laner. I just wouldn't put her higher than an A plus. Nox is a throw pick. Needs to be entirely reworked until she gets played. If she does not get reworked until Season 9, then nobody's going to play her until then. Until she gets reworked, she's a throw pick. Nuwa. I'm actually going to put Nuwa in S tier. I think Nuwa's insane right now. Nuwa is really good. S tier. Shit ton of damage. Really survivable. If you have your own self-peel with your own huge stun. Burst somebody down, especially late game. Like if somebody dives you, especially like a jungler, and if you hit them with your clay soldiers and you explode them onto the whoever's diving you, you'd like delete half their health bar. It's crazy how much damage you do. I'm not even sure who this is. I think this is Odin. Odin's crazy right now. Putting Odin at an S plus tier, he's crazy. Probably one of the best warriors in the game. All you need to do is just throw your cage down around a team fight and lock people into your cage and you're doing your job. There you go. Still really good. Oleron, I think he's A right now. I think he's just your average ADC mage. They buffed his ultimate to where you're CC immune during your ult now. Just A tier. Osiris, B tier. Kind of really fallen off, especially because a lot of the items he likes to build now have gotten the shit nerfed out of him. So, Pele. I'm moving Pele right up to S plus tier. Pele is fucking crazy right now. Pele is crazy. She is crazy. She does so much damage. She has an insane amount of self-sustain. Like, she even does a shit ton of damage if you build her, like, with, like, 1 or 2 hybrid items. Like, the same thing as Loki. Definitely probably going to end up getting nerfed this next patch. She's been kind of on the rise these last couple patches. She's been kind of moving up, and now a lot of the items she likes to build got buffed, or like a cost reduction, or like a power buff. It's crazy right now. I think she's... If you're looking for a really good jungler, I think Pele is what you're looking for. Persephone, they nerfed the damage on her. I just wish they would revert her, if I'm being honest. I wish they would revert Persephone, because ever since they reworked her, I've barely ever even played her. I just don't think she's fun to play anymore. I really don't. They took everything away from her that was fun, at least for me to play her, and took it all away. Apart from the ult, I think the ult's still really good, but apart from that, at least for me, I just don't find any fun in playing her anymore. Ever since she got reworked, I just wish they would revert her. I think she's S tier worthy still, but just with how much damage you still do and how good your ult is, but I just wish they would revert Persephone. I don't know why they reworked her. They reworked Persephone, but they have shit like Nox, and they have shit like Bastet in the game for some reason. I don't know. And like Awpok and E-Set and all this other stuff. Poseidon A tier. I wouldn't even play him as a mid. If you're looking for like an okay average jungler, like a mage jungler, then you're going to be looking maybe at Poseidon. The guy is just kind of an ult bot. That's all he really does. Ryzen got nerfed. I'm going to put him at a... I think I'm going to put him at an S tier. I think he's still really good. Still does shit's damage, even though he got nerfed. Rama, A tier. Raw, A+ tier. Not really much has changed with them at all. Rat, I think, is actually pretty bad right now with how much damage mages and hunters are doing. It's really difficult for you to dive both of those. And if you can't dive the mages and you can't dive the hunters as a jungler, you're pretty much worthless because you can't do anything to the tanks. So I think he's really bad right now. At least for me. I know there's probably going to be people that disagree with that. I don't know. Like I said, 100% opinionated tier list. Ravana, A+. Scylla does a shit ton of damage still. I think she's still worth an S tier. I really do. Scylla's going up to an S tier. 100%. Still think she's insanely good. Serket needs some really major buffs. I think she's just really bad right now. Needs major buffs. I just don't know what to really do with her right now, and I just don't know how to really play her over a lot of the other shit right now because there's so many better options in the game. It's really difficult to play her too, like in the same boat as like a Ratatasker or like even like a Naja and stuff like that. Like people are just doing so much damage late game, you just get deleted. You try to do your job and you just get deleted for doing your job because everybody's just doing so much damage with the TTK that's being thrown off. Set A+ tier, kind of fallen down, but I wouldn't say he's like garbage. I think you can make him work, especially if you're going against a team of bums. You can easily carry a game. I think Scotty is really good right now. I really do. I think Scotty is crazy good. I'm moving Scotty right up to an S tier. I think she's really good. I've been playing a shit ton of Scotty recently, and I think she's insanely good. Run like a Bluestone, like ability hybrid auto attack type build with like maybe like two auto attack type items with some attack speed. Run a lot of like ability based. Run Transcendence. Even like I forgot what the other one is, like Transcendence, Hydras. I don't know. She's really good. She does a shit ton of damage. Really good early game pressure too. Really good early game pressure because you automatically have your 2. Your 2 is a rank 1 off spawn, which is really cool. So you can rank up your 1, and then you have your dog there to do damage as well, which is an automatic advantage over everybody else in your lane. So it's really solid. She does have no mobility and does get dove, but if you play her well enough, like I've had games where I've went 24-0 with Scotty. Like recently, like a week and a half ago, I had a game where I went 24-0 with Scotty. So she's crazy good right now. You just need to know how to properly position. But apart from that, even then, I think she's still really good. Sobek got nerfed a little bit. I think he's still A+ tier. Sol, probably the best ADC mage in the game, moving her to S tier. If you want an ADC mage right now, I think Sol is what you're looking at. 100%, she's really good. Sun Wukong, I'm not going to move him there. The problem with this tier list is like it takes up too much of the screen. That's my problem. I keep having to scroll up and down. I do apologize, guys. A+ tier, just your above average solo laner right now. Susanoo got buffed, still trash. B tier. Sylvanas got his passive reworked, and I still think it's bad. I still think his passive is bad. Instead of level 20, it should be level 15 before it fully ranks up. I think he's okay. I'm gonna put him at an A tier, just for average. Apart from that, I don't think he's that good. Terra A+ right now. Just your above average support. That's about it. Thanatos is fucking crazy. I can tell you that right now. He needs to be nerfed this next patch. Needs to be fucking nerfed. Pretty much all you do, like with Thanatos now, you don't even need to know how to land your abilities. All you need to do is know how to use your 3 and know how to use your ult, no matter if you get an execute or not. Every single time your ult is off cooldown, you land on somebody, whether it's a mage or a hunter, you delete half of their health bar with your ult alone, and then you use your 3. And you, with an ult 3 combo, you usually 2-shot somebody. Needs his damage scaling really toned back. Just needs it really toned back because I think he's fucking crazy right now. Really annoying to play against, too. Thanatos is really annoying to play against. The only thing you can really do to check him is run like an Aegis and just hope you land it and use it at the correct time when he drops it right on top of you. Otherwise, you just waste your relic and you still die. So, I don't know. Morgan, like, if you're just talking about your average players, I'm going to put her at an A+. I don't think she's better than an A+, if you're just talking about average. If it was like a pro or like a higher player tier list, maybe like an S+ tier. Thor, garbage. F tier. He's fucking trash. Thoth, A tier. He's okay, but the problem with him, he just gets stove too easy. Tyr is actually really good right now. I think Tyr is fucking crazy, actually. I think he's really good. He's going to S tier, 100%. Almost unkillable, and if you play him properly enough, you just do so much damage, and you're near unkillable. Uller, A tier. Vamana is F tier. If you pick him in your games, you're throwing at this point. He's really bad. Especially with how much damage people are doing late game. You can't do anything at all. Vulcan, C tier. Just really bad. Shibolonke. I want to put him at an A tier. I think he's B tier worthy. I think the one thing he needs to be brought back to him is having his stun on his ult back. Apart from that, I just don't think there's really a reason to really choose him over a lot of the other hunters in the game right now. Jingten, just your average Guardian. Apart from that, you're not really going to be seeing him played. Umoja got nerfed again this patch. I don't know why they keep nerfing Umoja. I really don't. I still think she's A+ worthy. Even if you don't know how to like land her stuns, like just having the shielding and having like the healing on your passive just by hitting one of your allies and giving like a passive tick heal is still really good. Even her ult, like even if you just talk about that, like her ult, if you can't land your stuns, you don't know what else you're doing. Even her ult's insanely good just for that alone. Ymir is going right up to S+ tier. I don't care what anybody says. Ymir is going right up to S+ tier. The guy is crazy right now. Ymir is crazy. You can even play him in the jungle. I think Ymir jungle's crazy right now. He needs to be nerfed. He does too much damage, and I think he's just... They keep buffing him. They kept buffing him, I think, like a number of patches. And now I think he's kind of just over-buffed. He needs to be toned back quite a lot. Probably the best Guardian jungle in the game, by the way, too. Ymir is probably the best Guardian jungle in the game, apart from, like, a Bracken. Zeus, F. I really want to put him F tier. I do think he has some potential, though. You do a shit ton of damage. I don't think he is useless. He's not as bad as, like, a Nox or, like, a nice... or, like, an E-set. I think he's just C tier, though. Really situational, and if you don't position perfectly the entire game, you just get shit on by everybody that wants to die of you. Zhonghui, A tier, just your average mage right now. If you want to play him in solo lane, you can get away with it, but apart from that, that's probably the only place I'd really play him. He's not really good in mid, he's not a good support, don't even think about playing them there. Only place to play Zhonghui right now is probably in solo. Oh, here we go again, guys. Here we go again. How many times are we going to have Tsukiyomi on a tier list go right up to A or S plus tier? How many times going right up to S plus tier? Fucking broken. Why they do not nerf Tsukiyomi? I don't even think he got nerfed this patch. I don't even think he got nerfed for 8.9. Fucking broken. He got his ult, I think, got a little bit of a scaling nerf, I think a patch or two ago, but apart from that, he's still insanely broken. Insanely broken. He's really annoying to go against. Him and Thanatos right now are probably the two most annoying junglers in the game, in my honest opinion, just to go against. It's really annoying to play against. Gilgamesh got the shit nerfed out of him. I still think he's insanely good. Still think he's really, really, really good. I'm still gonna put him at like I want to put him in S tier. I'm gonna put him as S plus. I still think he's great. Still think if you're just talking about your average games too, guy just carries games still. Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay actually, I don't know. Morgan Le Fay, she did get nerfed this patch. She got some cooldown increases on her, I think on her one, and then they actually buffed her one's, like her clone on her one, so it has a little bit more health, and it just doesn't get one shot by anything, and it's pretty much useless. So, I still think she's S plus tier, probably one of the best mages in the game. Until they get rid of the fear on her one and they rework her fear on her one, she's still going to be the best mage in the game. I don't care how much increased cooldown they gave her, or anything else. I think they also reduced the healing she would get from her ult per swing. I think they reduced that as well. Like, she's still great. Still insane. You got Tiamat. I think Tiamat's fallen off a little bit. I really do. But I think if you're just talking about your average games, she's still S tier. Still 100% an S tier. And then the only person I do not have on this list is Charybdis. And if I were to put Charybdis on this list, I would put Charybdis at a A+. She's kind of just average thing right now. She's the newest hunter of the game. I think the only good thing about her that's really, really good is her 3 being able to just like immune to pretty much anything for like 3 or 4 seconds, just being able to run away, not having to worry about CC, not having to worry about damage, not having to worry about anything, and just being able to walk away pretty much unscathed for 3 or 4 seconds. Apart from that, her ult is mainly like an initiation type ult, not really a finishing type ult. You're really, really vulnerable when you use your ult too, because the wind up just takes forever on her ult. Her 2 is really bad. You never want to be getting in somebody's face as a long range hunter. Why would you want to use your 2 and get in somebody's face and put yourself at risk taking a shit ton of damage? With her 2, it's really bad, and her 1 is okay. It's passable. It's okay. I don't know. I think Charybdis right now is just A+. She's above average, mainly just because she can play really safe with her 3. If she did not have her 3, I think she would probably be like an A or even like a B tier. Probably one of the most, I'd say probably out of the entire year, probably the most underwhelming release, at least like god-wise. But like, I'm not saying every single god in the game needs to be broken tier on release. It's kind of a good change of pace to actually have a hunter or like another new god to the game that's actually not broken on release, like Morgan Le Fay or like a Gilgamesh. So we're also going to be having a new god this next patch for 9.0. I will not be talking about it in this video because right now, when I'm recording this, we have no idea who it is. I'm assuming it's a new Guardian. It's been forever since we've gotten a new Guardian, and we're way overdue for a Guardian. So it's either an assassin or probably a Guardian. We had a hunter, we had a mage, we had a warrior already this year. It's either a hunter or an assassin. So one of those two. But apart from that, that's the list, guys. Like I said, Charybdis is not on here, but she would be placed into A+ tier. And that's the list. Like I said, 100% opinionated. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know your guys' own list down below. If there's something I did not discuss, let me know down below as well. And yeah, overall, I'd say the game right now, I think the main problem with Smite right now is just like the TTKs is really off. My only really problem with Smite right now is just having to go against hunters and mages at level 10 that two-shot people. That's my only problem. And now it's kind of getting to the extent too where like a lot of the junglers, before this patch, it really wasn't that way. But now that they buffed a lot of the jungle type items and like the EXP camps for junglers and stuff like that, Now the junglers are kind of the same way, where I wouldn't say they're as bad as like the hunters and the mages, but like once you hit like level 10, level 12, you walk up to a mage, and like before when we had boots, that it was not possible until like 20, 25 minutes. Now ever since they take boots out of the game and boots have gotten removed, now we have like these mages and hunters that you walk up to at like level 10 and level 12, and they're over here two-shotting people. So it's really bad to play against. It's super annoying to play against. I wouldn't say it's like game-breaking problem, but they definitely need to look at like the damage for all the mages and all the damage for the hunters for season 9, in my honest opinion, and maybe even for the junglers, depending on how it goes. Where is this patch number 1 for when the junglers are actually starting to get good now? So we'll see how the rest of the year goes and rest of the season 8 goes, and maybe the junglers might have to be looked at as well, at least damage-wise. I think the tanks are balanced, so at least that's something going for them. But apart from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video. We really appreciate that, and hopefully we see you guys at a live stream. Like I said, I stream Smite, Paladins, Apex Legends, stuff like that, so you guys do not want to miss my live streams and when I'm live. Subscribe so you do not miss that. Follow me on Twitter. I'll throw that out down in the description down below. Go follow me over there. I'll be doing giveaways, polls, stuff like that over there as well, so you guys do not want to miss that. I got that up and running now, so peace out, guys. I'll see you guys in a future video.